Hello world, welcome back to Art with Honesty. It's Fictional Crush February and I'm drawing all my fictional crushes, and in this video I'm doing my Disney crushes. So let's get into it. Okay, I know. Before you come for me in the comments saying, hey, this isn't Disney. I'm aware, but where else was I supposed to put him? And I couldn't really think of that many Disney crushes if I'm completely honest, besides some of the basics. So, the person I'm drawing here is one of my crushes from Kung Fu Panda, Mantis. Now, I'm not a furry, okay? First things first, I'm not a furry. Because if I was a furry, wouldn't I be like into something with fur? Mantis is a bug, so then I'm a buggy. I like Mantis because he has a heart of gold and a really big stomach. I think I was in love with him. Love, such a big word. I really liked him from him saying, I wish my mouth was bigger. I found that really funny and charming, and if you watch him in the series and stuff, he's also really funny and charming there. Obviously, he's a mantis, and I'm a person, but I decided to draw him as a person because no hate for the mantis here. I drew him with green hair to represent his mantis green, and then the front two hairs represent his antenna. He's also wearing green, and I like to think that I gave him really buggy eyes. He's eating, because that's what attracted me to him in the first place, his big stomach. I also like Mantis's heart. He seems like he has a big heart and he's quite intelligent and knowledgeable. There's like a scene in Kung Fu Panda 1 where he does acupuncture, which I thought was really cool. I know, it's a bug, but we all have that one weird crush, so it's fine. I'm really curious if any of you guys had a crush from Kung Fu Panda, like maybe Crane or Monkey or any other of the characters. I know Peacock from the second movie is also quite attractive. Is it like Emperor Peacock or something like that? I really like him. Maybe he had a different name. Is that rude? Okay, never mind. I'm curious which Kung Fu Panda character might be your favorite or your crush. I'm also curious if you agree with my Mantis stance. I think he's really cute. I also am a huge fan of mantises in real life, so that could have also added to why I like Mantis so much, because I do think mantises are very cool. Also remember that in one of the spin-off episodes of the series that came out after Kung Fu Panda 1, he actually does find the love of his life, but Kung Fu Panda kind of shows him it's a toxic relationship, even though Mantis is kind of ready to settle down with a nice chick and get his head bitten off. I thought that was really funny. I'm also curious if you can tell which one of these characters are my favorite just based on how I drew them. I think this one is actually probably the toughest to decide which one is my favorite based on how I drew them, because I really did put a lot of love into all my Disney in quotation marks crushes. Promise this is the only one that's not Disney related, the rest are. I just didn't know where else to put him. Love for the mantis. My next maybe less problematic Disney crush, and I say problematic not because Mantis is problematic, more because I think this is this is an actual Disney crush. We're now finally getting to the actual Disney crushes, not DreamWorks or that kind of stuff. This is from Beauty and the Beast. I really like the freaking chandelier guy known as Lumiere. I really like Lumiere. Okay, maybe I have problematic tastes because I like insects and inanimate objects, but like I said, I think everyone has some weird non-human crush, and mine just happens to be Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast. He's French, he's kind of sexy, and the way he flirts with that feather duster, peak cinema. I was there for it. I'm there for it. I drew him having fire still incorporated. He still got a little candle top and some flame hands, I guess. I wanted to still show that he is still a bit of a flame boy, even though I think if he does become human, he's probably gonna lose the Lumiere part of being a candelava, I think it's called, when it's got the 3 prongs. I really like Lumiere because, maybe that's something against him, but he is French, and I do think that French is kind of one of the most romantic cultures out there. So the fact that Lumiere is from one of the most romantic cultures does kind of add to his character. I also like how sassy he is and how his relationship with his best friend, the clock, I think his name's Clockworth, how those play out together. They've got an interesting and sweet relationship, and it's one I'm here for. I also made sure to include him in a tuxedo because we know Lumiere has gotta have a tuxedo. He's gotta. He's a fancy man. He's a fancy man. I know eventually he does turn back like into his normal form. I think it like fits into the whole Beauty and the Beast controversy where everyone's like turn him back into the Beast. He was way more handsome before they like turned him back to his human form. And I kind of feel that same way about Lumiere. Like, turn him back to the turn him back into the candle holder, okay? I want my Lumiere. I want my Lumiere. Okay, so turn him back into the candelabra, candle holder, candle thing, and we're all good to go. Don't you mess with the girl's fictional crush that is an gosh, I'm struggling with words today, guys. Inanimate object. Okay, girls, I hear you screaming. That how come I haven't already mentioned one of the most popular, one of the most sexiest men ever to come out of fictional crush history, Flynn Rider. And I have to say to you, I was getting there, okay? I was getting there. So yes, I'm drawing Flynn Rider from Tangled. And yes, he is probably one, or not the most sexiest man in fictional crush history. Now I know you're thinking, okay, there's Shang from Mulan, and there's the fox from Zootopia and the fox from the Robin Hood animated movie, but we have to go with our guts on this one, Flynn Rider. Flynn Rider, okay? One of the sexiest men alive, right? One of the sexiest fictional crush guys in history. And why is that? Why do we love him? Because he's a bad boy with a heart of gold, of course. And I know, girls, I know you're probably saying, his name's not Flynn Rider, it's Eugene Fitzgerald. And how could I be a true fictional crush fan if I didn't know that? So I'm hearing you. But I think he's more well known as Flynn Rider, so I'm gonna stick with that. In Tangled, Flynn Rider starts out as a every man for himself kind of guy. We see it in how he portrays his acquaintances or partners when he steals the crown from them. We see it in how he is a bit shifty. We see it in his I Want song when Rapunzel just wants to see the lights. He wants to just be on a beach in paradise with a lot of gold. There's no real true passion behind it. But through knowing our bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, dorky, naive Rapunzel, he falls more and more in love with her, and by doing so he becomes more and more the bad boy with the heart of gold. And he is even willing at the end of the movie to sacrifice himself for her. Tangled was one of my favorite movies growing up because as a person who likes to keep her hair short, I don't like to have long hair. It is kinda hard to relate to Disney princesses because almost all of them have long hair. Even the ones that are more of the boss baddies, most of them have long hair. And I couldn't really relate to Mulan. I could relate to her on a character level, but on a physical level, not really because I'm not Asian. But I could relate to Rapunzel because eventually she does get short hair, and even though she's got short brown hair and I have short blonde hair, I could relate to her because she did have blonde hair in the beginning. And I could at one point relate to her character. So having someone like Eugene Fitzgerald be there for someone like Rapunzel, it has been maybe a goal of mine to meet someone that reminds me of him in the way of which they both rub off on each other and make each other better. Now, obviously, I haven't watched the series that came out about Tangled. I have watched clips of it, so maybe I have a little bit of a brief outline of what happens in the series. But I know even in the series, Eugene Fitzgerald, or Flynn Rider, is still the man that we have grown to love from the movie. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And I hear you screaming again. Ladies, girls, ladies, how come I can hear you screaming across the country, across the world, at me? That is some powerful vocal control. But I hear you screaming. Where is Shang? Where is Shang? Okay, you cannot have a Disney fictional crush episode without Shang. Alright? We will murder you. And I hear you. I hear your pleas. I hear it. I'm loud and clear. I'm here for it. Of course I drew Shang. Shang from Mulan, that is. I don't know if there's like a different Shang. And I mean the Shang from Mulan, the animated movie. Okay, we are not talking about the live action. Disgraceful. Okay? Disgraceful. I think every girl saw Shang and went, ooh, I have feelings. And every bisexual little boy or gay little boy saw Shang and went, ooh, I have feelings. Okay, this man is a marker in almost everyone's lives. Even men who are straight, Shang is like their Ryan Reynolds. He is peak perfection. Now, I'm not gonna say that Shang is the greatest guy ever, okay? And also, Mulan's not about Shang, okay? So we're not gonna take the spotlight away from Mulan by making the movie about Shang. But he had some great moments. Ladies, gentlemen, he had some great moments. And I think we all know what we're talking about. I love Mulan the movie. I at least watch that movie once a year. It's got great music. It's got great comedy. It's got great eye candy. I love Mulan the movie. And I got my Spotify Wrapped last year, and my number 2 top most listened song is the song where she's like training and it's like, I can make a man out of you. Like, that is my top 2 most listened song. Under that, my top 3 of all time is A Girl Worth Fighting For, and under that is Bring Honor to Us All. You are talking to a Mulan fanatic. So when I say I like Shang, I mean it. I really do mean it. I like Shang in his body proportions. I like Shang in his 2 acquaintances known as left bicep and right bicep. I like Shang a lot. And he does have a little bit of character growth. And then you find out that he's really awkward and quirky, and you find out that you're in love. That's how quick it takes. You find out that he's got a great body and he's a little quirky and shy, and you're in love. When the freaking emperor has to tell you guys that you do not find a girl like her every day, and you listen and you rock up at her house being like, I brought your helmet back for your father, but also was hoping I could stay for dinner. We were all the grandma in that moment being like, send me off to war. I gotta find myself a Shang, because damn, we could all see it. Every person who's watched Mulan thought Shang was hot. Okay, like I know Flynn Rider is the sexy fictional crush, but I also kind of feel like Shang has him beat. Flynn Rider or Eugene Fitzgerald, whatever you want to call him, he had character growth. But Shang already had the character, known as left pectoral and right pectoral. This man was hot, and maybe I'm objectifying him a lot, so I do apologize for that, but I can't help it. I want a piece of that eye candy. So yes, I like Shang. I was really nervous to draw him though, because he is such a fan favorite, so I really hope I did him justice. And if I didn't, please let me know, but do it so gently, because I really like him. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please let me know which guy was your fictional crush and which one was your favorite. Obviously it's probably Shang and like Eugene, but I'm willing to hear all your other Disney crushes if you let me know in the comments down below, because I like interacting with you guys. I feel like I'm creating a little community. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all again next week, because I'm making them fight. We're gonna find out who is Art with Honesty's top #1 fictional crush for Fictional Crush February. Bye!